Welcome to the Pulpit Wife's podcast. I'm Sharon Rand, the Pulpit Wife, and I want to share something with you today. Have you heard of the SWOT analysis? Most of the time you hear it in business management training. SWOT, SWOT, your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. Well, I would like to introduce you to a new SWOT analysis. SWOT, Spiritual Worship Overpowers Temptation. SWOT. Spiritual worship overpowers temptation. There's a spiritual war happening in every believer's life, a tug of war between the spirit and the flesh, purpose and distraction, destiny and destruction. But here's the truth that sets us free. Spiritual worship overpowers temptation, or as I like to say it, SWAT. Yes, SWAT, and not the corporate kind. This is a kingdom framework. It's not about evaluating your weaknesses and threats in the workplace. It's about inviting heaven to evaluate your heart and strategically engage you in worship that strengthens your spirit. Let's break it down and walk it out in epic style. Yes, expectation, purpose, intentionality, and consistency. You have to understand temptation. It's a subtle disruptor. Temptation doesn't always show up with horns and a pitchfork. Sometimes it comes in soft, compromises silent thoughts, or shiny opportunities that pull us off the altar of surrender. James 1:14. Each person is tempted when they are dragged away by their own evil desires and enticed. Temptations come from internal struggles, desires, ego, external pressure. It drains our spiritual energy. But here's the warning. Yielding to it separates us from God and often leaves us with emotional scars. But there's hope. Spiritual worship is a power source. What is spiritual worship? It's more than a song. It's a life posture, a surrendered heart, a soul in alignment, a daily yes to God's way. Worship takes many forms: singing, praying, dancing, reading, meditating on scripture, and serving others with a joyful heart. And every time you choose worship over worry, you disarm the enemy's plan. John 4:24. God is spirit, and his worshipers must worship him in spirit and in truth. Worship keeps us anchored when temptation tries to pull us directionlessly out of order everywhere. Worship wins the war. That's why SWOT works. That spiritual analysis, that's why SWOT works. Let's not just admire worship, let's activate it. Worship aligns you with God's will. When your heart is tuned into heaven, you discern what's pleasing to the Father, not just what feels good in the moment. Worship fills your heart with the truth. Jesus used scripture to defeat Satan's temptation in the wilderness. That's in Matthew chapter 4. You can too. You can defeat Satan in your wilderness. Worship strengthens your entire being. A worshiper isn't weak. A worshiper is a warrior in disguise. How do you apply this SWOT to your daily life? How do you apply this SWOT to your daily life? If you want to resist temptation, you need a worship strategy. Set a worship rhythm. Morning declarations, afternoon praise walks, evening reflection on the word. Worship in community. Don't fight alone. Church, small groups, even a phone prayer partner can be a huge game changer. Stay mindful. When temptation knocks, respond with God's presence, not panic. Breathe, quote scripture, sing, shift the atmosphere. Now, this is real talk. When worship changes the atmosphere, it can change everything. Think about Paul and Silas in chains in prison at midnight. What did they do? They worship. And what happened? An earthquake, open doors, freedom. Temptation may try to imprison you, but worship will shake the foundation of your cell, your stronghold, your bondage. Your own testimony might not have an earthquake, but it might have peace in the storm, clarity in confusion, and victory in the battle. Most definitely. Just swatch your life. Just apply these things to your life. Whenever you're feeling down, just think about the SWOT of spiritual analysis. Spiritual worship overpowers temptation. Use that whenever you can. Worship is not a performance. It's protection. It's your power play when temptation whispers. And it doesn't have to be perfect, polished, or performed, just authentic. So next time the enemy presses play on your past or flashes distractions in your present, swat back. Spiritual worship overpowers temptation with a song, a scripture, a surrender, a shout, because spiritual warfare doesn't just resist temptation, it overpowers it. And if you want to go deeper with the SWOT action plan, let's meditate on Romans chapter 12, verse 1 and 2, John chapter 4, verse 24, or Matthew chapter 4, verses 1 through 11, or whichever scripture you use when you're fighting the battles, when you know that you're being overpowered. Psalms 91. Journal your prompts. Journal these things that come up in your mind. Journal them. Every time something prompts you or gets in your head and tries to confuse you, write it down and write down how you won that battle. When have you felt a pull of temptation? How can you worship your way the next time? You know what also works? Creating a playlist. Sometimes you just got to turn on the music, turn on the noise, turn on some worship songs, or invite a prayer partner for a 7-day check-in. And if you want a printable of this, you can email me at pulpitwife@gmail.com. And this comes with a worksheet. So we want to worship to gain. So we want to worship to win. And so thank you for listening in to the Pulpit Wife podcast. I'm Sharon Rand, the Pulpit Wife. See you next time.